you, my friend?
I'm good, mate. I'm good. Pleasure to be here. Thanks for inviting me on.
No, you are more than welcome. How's your day going? Is it sunny, rain, hail, sunshine?
No, it's rainy,
No,
mate. It's a
because you don't
classic
know with
rainy
British
day.
weather these days, do you?
That's it, mate. That's it. I've got a cup of tea and I'm doing all right, mate.
Brilliant.
Surviving.
So one of the main reasons I was so excited to have you on, Jack, is because you are, as you might not know, I am a big football fan. You're a big football fan. So it's just great to have you on. Two football guys talking on the Weekly Cracker Man. Can't get better than that. But, you know, first question I wanted to ask you is kind of not related to TikTok, but it is in some aspect. But, I mean, if I said, what does football mean to you? What would you say? What does football mean to you, Jack?
What does it mean to me? It's a lovely pastime, isn't it? It's enjoyable to watch. I used to play it as a kid, and I've got kids myself, so it's a nice skill to have to bond with my boy. So I enjoy that. And I'm at the point now where I'm trying to make him watch a bit more football.
Yeah.
But it's tricky. He's got a 5 to 10 minute max. You know what I mean, and then he's away. Yeah. So no, but it's nice. So I do enjoy it, even though I'm really good at pretending to enjoy it as well.
Well, to cut off any hopeful bad feeling, we got to find out first, Jack. Who do you support?
Do you know what? I might keep that a mystery. You know, I think
you can't do that to me now. You can't do that to me now. You have to tell me.
I think
I put you on the spot now.
At least got to start.
Say something.
But it might ruin the fantasy.
I'll forgive you. I'll forgive you. And you know, we can just play fantasy football another time. We can sign up and play that Premier League thing that you get, that fantasy team, which I'm doing quite well on so far. I've got about I'm still third bottom of my league, but you know, third is better than nothing.
Can I say England Hotspur?
All right, yeah, we'll give you that. We'll give you that. I'll give you that. You know, football is so important to you know, us Englishmen, isn't it? You know, the fact that it's our national sport. It's been with us from the very beginning. And I wanted to get your opinion on something, Jack. The fact that it nearly got ripped away from us at the start of April with the European Super League that came out. I mean, I want to get your opinion on that. You know, as a football fan, how did you feel, you know, when that news broke out?
Oh, same as everyone else, really. I think. I mean, at first, I had to actually look into it and what it actually meant. And you know, I think I'm only going to say the same as everyone else has said. You know, it's not taking the fans into account, is it? And
it's kind of like a big slap, isn't it?
Yeah, and that is what football is all about at the end of the day, isn't it?
Yeah, absolutely.
So yeah, that's. I think I'm just echoing everyone else's thoughts. And I don't know if I've actually met anyone who thinks it's a good idea. So
you don't meet anyone. Yeah. That's a good idea. Yeah. But Jack, so as we know, you're on TikTok. Jack Skipper, are on the never-ending popular app. I don't think it is going to get even more popular than it already is. Well, it probably will, but you know, how high can you get? Well, TikTok, I think it has its own aspirations, don't you think?
Yeah. It's crazy. It is crazy how big it actually is, and I think it's now sort of becoming apparent to me. I'm just starting to realise how much of a reach it actually does have.
It's shocking, isn't it? You know,
it is.
People
it's
as
mad.
well you can find on it.
Yeah, it is mad. It's like, I mean, I only started doing it. It was just literally for a laugh. It was during lockdown. I like having a laugh, you know, and like during lockdown, it got tricky to have a laugh. So it was just started off as just posting videos on there, and then it just started to grow. I mean, like I've had like private messages from like comedians I really admire and things like that, and just say the reach it gets to you. Bloody hell, I only did it for a laugh.
Interesting. That's very interesting. You mentioned that. Tell me more about that, Jack. I mean, what was your reactions when you got these private messages from these comedians? And tell me more about, you know, the influence they had on you, because you mentioned as well that you look up to them in somewhat of a way.
Yeah, well, I mean, not so much because I'm not really. The whole online comedy thing is like a brand new thing to me, and I'm not that I've done any other comedy. I'm just a carpet fitter. Yeah, I mean,
No,
that's all
you're
I
a
do, but
TikTok star now.
yeah. So yeah, and then sort of yeah, just getting like, so from like some stand-up comedians I've followed and things, and people I look up to, and they'll send you a message and say they like your stuff, and it's crazy. It's great. It's just you
Yeah.
think, oh wow, yeah. You don't really. I think it's hard to gain a perspective how many people you are actually reaching with it. And when you actually think about the numbers of people that do watch it, it's
Yeah.
it's
It's a
crazy.
scary thought, isn't it? It really is a scary
Yeah,
thought. The fact that
yeah,
you could be getting watched by a celebrity from Australia. You could be
yeah,
getting watched by a cast member from Neighbours. I'm just using that
yeah,
as an explanation. But it's
yeah.
that sort of thing when you don't exactly know who's watching you. And does that excite you as a content creator, Jack, knowing that somebody quite big is possibly watching what you do?
I've never really thought about it as someone quite big. I've thought about it as like the number of people. And I always find it funny the amount of people that do actually relate to things that I do. That's the weird thing about TikTok. You could throw something up that you think, oh, only a few people will get that, and I think one of my most popular ones was blokes who pretend they're from
Yeah,
London.
I've
And
seen
I thought that was so niche. I thought that was so sort of, not a lot of
because
people would
that does
understand what it's like.
happen. That does happen.
Yeah,
It's
yeah, and
quite a
then
common thing.
yeah, and I think because you only do it from your own world, you don't realize, and then you just never know what's gonna. And on the opposite way, you might think, oh, this is brilliant. People are gonna love this one, and it and it does no good. There's just no way of telling. So I think that is the key to it. It's just you just keep throwing it out there, and just.
And
You see what sticks.
Exactly. With all content creators, they're not always going to have a good response to their video. They could have a bad response. So it's kind of like a timer when you put it one end. That's a bad explanation, but it's like a yo-yo in some aspects.
Yeah.
Sometimes it'll swing the good way, sometimes it'll swing the bad way. You're
Yeah.
gonna get that sort of polarizing reception, and I'm speaking for the big TikTok stars, as well, or in that, using that as an example. But when you first created your very first skit, Jack, what did you want people to see you as? What was the message you wanted to put on there?
Well, I didn't have it straight away. It sort of developed. I mean, I remember the first lockdown, which was it last March? I remember I thought, I'll give this a go, and I put like 2 videos up. They didn't get many views. I was like, oh, this is rubbish. I mean, I just left it there, and then I started again. I started up at like the beginning of this year, and I remember it just weren't going anywhere. And then I left it, and I checked my phone a few days later, and then like all the notifications were going off. I was like, what's all that? And it was the first football video, and it was like blokes who pretend they're into football. And then I've just started to develop a thing of like blokes who pretend, because I think because it's quite relatable, because there's so many blokes out there who just we as blokes, I think we do this thing where we pretend just to so you put so you can blend in with other people, so
it's kind of like if you're in a conversation with your girlfriend and her friends, and they're talking about Maybelline's next product, and they're saying, oh, are you a fan of that? And you're like, yeah, I love that.
Exactly, yeah.
I use it myself. Nice moisturize. But
I think that's it. And I think because I can only, the only thing I can, all them ones that have been the most popular ones are the ones where it's actually a sort of a caricature of me. Like I have pretended to be nearer London than I am. I have pretended to be probably a bit more into football than I am, with like when it gets like hardcore conversations. And I think just all of them, it's things that I've generally have done in my own life. I've just made a sort of, and I think a lot, because the best comments that I like to get is when people have tagged someone in it and said, "This is you." You know what I mean? If people are seeing, it makes it quite universal. I do enjoy that.
So, when you had that response from that football video, is that the moment where you thought, okay, football's going to be my kind of content that I want to show? That's the norm of my profile? Because a lot of people, they have, dancing as their main, drive. And then some people have stand-up. Some people have the most random things. You've got the pool guy, for example, whose thing is cleaning pools. So would you say that football was the sort of driving force for your TikTok?
I think it got a big response. Yeah. I think like people just do seem to really enjoy it. Yeah. Do you know what as well? The funny thing is like you don't, as I said before, you don't know what's going to go off, and I've sort of created a catchphrase, like not on purpose. Do you know what I mean?
Tell us it. What's that? What is your catchphrase?
Everyone just wants to come on. That's all that anyone wants to hear. And so I'm thinking some videos where I don't say it, I might have to put a little disclaimer saying like, warning, this video does not contain any come ons, because I think people just are really expecting me to say it all the time. So yeah,
but
so that was a mistake.
Once people, once people have something like, a catchphrase that you've got, if they see it over and over and over again, they're going to start to expect to see it more. So when you do a few videos maybe of not saying it, then people are going to be like, no, we want this back. But I think sometimes when it comes to content, change is important.
Oh, of course, yeah, and that's the thing. I think as well. I think probably the beauty of TikTok at the moment is it's still relatively new, isn't it? It's still new. So if you want to start testing things out, now's the time. Just throw it up there. I used to do it when I first started. When you put something up there and it doesn't go well and that, you get it gets you straight in the heart. But now you just sort of get used to it. Some things will take on, some things won't.
But the one thing I really admire about you, Jack, is the fact that when you mentioned you did your first 2 videos and you didn't get the response that you thought it was going to get, but then you kept driving it, and now you're getting more and more numbers. So I really admire that about you, Jack.
Oh, cheers, mate. Yeah. I think there was. As I said before, I think I like it's all about having a laugh, isn't it? And
it's all about having a laugh.
It is all about having a laugh. That's all it is ever about.
All about rolling on the floor, just wondering, what do I do with life?
Yeah, that's it. And laughing.
So considering I want to talk about your creative process, Jack. When it comes to creating new skits, is it hard to really think of ideas to put out there?
I think the harder you think, it doesn't come up. If you think too hard, nothing will come up. Sometimes it will just come to you. But you'll just be driving along, or you'll meet someone that is a little, and then I must look a bit weird because I do talk to myself. But even with like the football ones, I think sometimes the best thing to do is just record myself and just start shouting things out. And then sometimes that's when the best things come up. Do you know what I mean? You just start shouting things, and it's instead of sitting there trying to really write, really clever, just shout things out. And then sometimes, usually that's where the best things come from. But I say I would look weird if anyone just walked past and just a bloke on his phone just shouting things. But so it works.
I mean, I would love that. If I was on the street and you just drove down just saying "come on," I'd be attracted to that immediately. I'm just
yeah, people tend to stay clear, but yeah, thanks.
I might just hire you to be my DJ, and then just at my 25th birthday, you're on the decks and you're just going, "Come on, come on, come on, come on." I'd
come on.
I
can do that.
So Jack, as a content creator, do you think it's important to check out what other content creators are doing? Maybe sometimes if it's not, similarizing to your own content, but do you think it's cool to check what other people are doing so you can get an idea of, okay, if they can do that, I can do this?
I'm gonna say no. Just because I think sometimes subconsciously you will start sort of copying other people. I mean, it's hard. There is a theory that the way to learn is to copy. Do you know what I mean? Because then you will start copying things, and then over time it will develop and be in your own style.
How can you prevent that though? How can you prevent copying, but at the same time get inspiration?
I don't think you can. It just happens, I think you just got. I mean, there are some brilliant people on TikTok, and I think maybe it's also I suppose you can watch it and learn from it, and learn little tips and little, But I think it's tricky if you're trying to create things and you're doing too much viewing. I think it's probably you've already got to have a little bit of viewing, limit yourself, and then
Yeah.
try and be more on the creative side.
Okay, one TikToker that, apart from yourself, that you enjoy
Yeah.
watching.
Who do I enjoy watching? I can't remember his name, but there's an American guy. He really makes me laugh. I think it's Stay Goofy. Have you heard of that guy?
I
He
have
cracks
not,
me up,
but
that bloke.
I gotta check it out now.
Oh yeah, he's pretty good. Yeah, off the top of my head, that's the only one I can think of really. But yeah, he makes me laugh, and I like the way I like his little style. It's usually just one joke, and it's concise, and you ain't got to think about it too much. It's just I
Yeah.
like that. I think that's some of the best thing about comedy is just you ain't got to think about it too much. If it makes you laugh, that's funny. Do you know what I mean?
Absolutely. So I'm going to put you on the spot now, Jack.
Oh no.
Most memorable skit you've done and skit you're most proud of.
Well, we spoke about the football. I did the middle class men talking to tradesmen, and that's just the reference for my life. I am a tradesman, and I think a lot of people got it wrong. I think they think I am on the other side. I am the tradesman. Usually, I just find it funny. It's quite cool when sometimes these sort of posher sort of guys, they try and get on your level with me as a worker, and it's always made me laugh. And then when I made that as a video, it seems like I think that was the first one that got like 500,000 views, and also I was contacted by On the Tools, which are quite a big page, and they wanted to share it and that. So I think that was that first moment of thinking, oh wow, this is, this could go somewhere.
I love it. So looking to the future, where exactly do you want to take this TikTok? Do you want to keep enhancing it? Bring in new content, get more views. What have you got planned for the future, Jack?
Yeah, I think just keep creating, just keep making videos. It sounds a bit, but I do like making people laugh.
And I love that.
It's the great thing to do, and so you do get nice little comments sometimes. I got one the other day, and it was like really early in the morning. Some guy just commented. He said, "I've just opened my eyes. I've watched this. The first thing I watched was this, and I've started my day off laughing." And it was a really positive message. I thought, that's made me feel really good. That, you know what I mean? I'm hoping that bloke had a good day there, because he started the day with a good laugh. But I like little messages like that. Yeah, that's
brilliant.
That's
all I have to say to you, Jack, is thank you so much for coming on the show. It's been great chatting to you.